Thank you so much, Professor Milošević. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here among you. Thank you so much for the invitation. It's always a great pleasure to be here in your magnificent city. I think that Belgrade maybe is the most beautiful capital in our region. So thank you for the invitation, and I wish you luck and success to the conference. Thank you. Dear colleagues, dear friends, Barack Obama's literally disgusting political legacy, as well the insane policy of his successor, Joe Biden, brought the world to the new Caribbean crisis, when the phrase a nuclear war is used more and more often. This control chaos has to be stopped, and the process begins in front of our eyes and continue until now successively. The de-Americanization of world policy and economy would be found in several directions. The first one is that the Russian President Vladimir Putin managed to restore the authority of Kremlin by learning from the mistakes of the Soviet Union. Today, Russia is focused on the region on which its security directly depends. Today, Ukraine, the Black Sea region, the Caucasian region, Central Asia, and the Far East are of strategic importance for Russia. In other words, the tactics of the current Russian leaderships can be reduced to the following: through local actions to global results. The military operation of the Russian army in Syria illustrates this fact very well. Second, the rise of China and the inability of the United States to stop the ambition of Beijing. The visionary Deng Xiaoping shows the path of the Celestial Empire, but the man who brought China through this path is Xi Jinping, the President Xi Jinping. Under his leadership, China became the second, and maybe not the second, it is the first economy of the world. And Chinese armed forces are already equal to the armies of the United States and Russia. For example, just for 15 years, China built 3 air carriers and built a 4th one. So this makes China the most serious military opponent of the United States in the Pacific. Third, the political and economic emancipation of the countries that have economic and demographic growth in the past 20 or 30 years. For example, India has already surpassed China in terms of the size of its population. If India continues to develop in this way, it is sure to say that if 21st century belong to China, then the next century will belong to India. With the population of more than 200 million people, the largest Latin American country, Brazil, is modern, as there is a proverb about Brazil, that is, Brazil is Russia of the South America. So let's talk about the Brazilian economy, and let's say that, for example, the company Embraer is the 3rd largest manufacturer of civil aircraft after Boeing and Airbus. Even the Western sanctions that have been valid for decades, for example, for Iran. Iran has almost 90 million people of population and demonstrates its military strength very well. The conflict in Ukraine, Russia used Iranian drones, and this demonstrates the military industry of Iran that is on very high level. Iran is a major exporter of oil and gas to China, an important partner of Russia, as it was mentioned, in military sphere. So we have on one side China, Russia, Brazil, and Iran. Despite the potential of the mentioned country, none of them have the ability to oppose the military and economic power of the United States. Moreover, American side controls two powerful global structures, NATO and the European Union. Those two organizations are particularly aggressive after the integration of Eastern European countries because it is an act of threatening the Russian security. Today, we are witnessing Moscow concern of NATO and the European Union were true. It is turned out that those fears, the fears of Russia, were fully justified, especially when the European Union, dear colleagues, practically became a military organization that supported the war. We can see we're witnessing that from one civil organization, the European Union became a total war organization. So the military and financial superiority of the West can only be contracted by integration among its opponents. In this regard, the issue of de-dollarization of the world economy is on the third place. Therefore, 19 years ago, the ministers of economy of Brazil, Russia, India, and China created BRICS organization. The root of the new initiative was the idea of payment in national currencies. Over the time, the organization began to explain, integrated more and more countries, and adopting the name BRICS. Today, the following countries are a member of the organization: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, and the United Arab Emirates. Very soon, maybe, Azerbaijan and Turkey will join the organization. In this way, BRICS is present BRICS have the opportunity to become a major factor because a part of BRICS are two largest countries by population, India and China. They possess practically unlimited human resources. Russia, Iran, and the Arab Emirates are among the largest exporters of oil and natural gases. States as Brazil, Egypt, and South Africa are regional factors that would become first-rate countries in their continents, As for Ethiopia, this country should be not underestimated. Why? Because it is the second most populated country in Africa. Looking from afar, the two magnets of BRICS are Russia and China. Russia as the largest nuclear power in the world, and China as the second, or maybe the first, economy in global plan. They form the core of this organization, BRICS. Both countries have mutual needs for each other. The reason is more than clear: the military and economic pressure of the United States over Moscow and Beijing. Therefore, BRICS can also be seen as a kind of shield against the American aggression. Could BRICS be alternative to the West? The answer to such question would be positive under several conditions. The first condition is BRICS must continue to expand with more and more member states. The new member states should be countries with a serious role in the world affairs, such as Saudi Arabia, since the price of the oil largely depends on this issue. And you may see the article in the book. Yes, I'm sorry for this delay. I just want to say that BRICS is has the unique chance to bring balance in the world. This balance will be useful for us, for the small countries. I'm sorry for this several seconds.